this is the way we drink our coffee today. So a bar now last night. Just before locking up the house, what I like to do is open the front door and have a look outside in the street. And there it was, flying between the two houses, between the two rows of houses. Boom, 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 screeching. There's a lot of nature up here. I've seen bats in the summer or at twilight. We've got bats nesting somewhere. We've got a barn owl. Got a load of crows. The crows are quite good actually because they scare off the seagulls and the magpies and all that. So, if you've got to have a corvid, crows and jackdaws, which is what we've got round here. And it's such a nice nature-laden place to live. There's not many places I've lived where in the spring there are sheep and lambs wandering around the road in front and behind us. We were sitting out watching telly one night and there was this bah bah. Open the front door and there's a lamb. It's obviously got separated from its mother and it's sort of sheltering, front door set back like a tiny little micro porch kind of thing. It's set back from the front of the house and it was sheltering there. Some people find that a nuisance. I don't. The sounds of nature, the fact that we're living in nature or living close to nature, I don't find that a nuisance at all. I like it. So yeah, barn owl. I'd seen it mentioned on the local hub, but yeah, I actually saw it. So, what's happening on the Twitters? I've just started following Wim Hof. I'm not caught with any of his tweets. I've just clicked on follow him. So let's see what happens with that. See if I get some, if the algorithm changes. No. Not a lot. Not a lot. Maybe it's a bit too early in the morning. It's not even 7:30 yet. It's daylight out there. This changing the clocks is not doing me any good. Oh, hang on a minute. Social contracts. What's a social contract? Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? It's a really large and weird, complicated argument, isn't it? I mean, from what the documentaries I've seen on Netflix and all the rest of it, and stuff like the books that I've read, anyone who sits on social media has a dollar value, basically. Their time and attention on social media has a price. We don't get paid for it, but we get advertised too. I mean, like the saying goes, if you're not paying to use a product, then you are the product. So like Facebook, Twitter and all that, these free to use services, yeah, we have to, the price that they're free to use is being bombarded with adverts and algorithms, driven adverts. So, I'm going to get loads of adverts for expanding foam from Screwfix and places like that because I googled it yesterday, so I'm expecting my social media feeds to be full of those kind of adverts. But that's how it works. So we're kind of used to it. We grew up with it. We understand that. And then China's got this thing about social merits and all that. And if you're a good citizen or whatever, you have a higher social standing, which is common sense, but they've taken it to extremes. See, it's 7:30. My alarm's going off. They've taken it to extremes. But not only if you're a good citizen and you I don't know, wear a mask in public or whatever, you're rewarded, but you're also punished. This is where it gets iffy. You're being punished for not being a good citizen. So if you're going to put out, political tweets that the government doesn't agree with, then, you might find that you're not going to get a job and stuff like that. that is that's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it? That's bad. That's, you know, that's bad news. I mean, the Orville, which is like a semi-amusing version of Star Trek, did an episode about social contracts, social standing, and all the rest of it. But there's another thing as well, social contracts. To me, I find the whole, well, it's the shopping trolley dilemma. Will you take a shopping trolley back when you finish doing your shopping in Asda or Tesco or whatever? Will you take it back to its little garage? As in, there's no reward for doing it, but it's the right thing to do. And maybe somebody should do that and do a study and drive around different areas, the north, the south, London, the, you know, north, the quiet areas, busy areas, and see what the car parks of like your average Tesco looks like. How many shopping trolleys have just been abandoned and how many are taken back? And then it might actually, and that would probably actually give you a very good guide of what the standard of manners and what people are who live there are like. You know, if we leave the front door, if we leave our house and step outside, then you are engaging in a social contract with your neighbours, with the rest of the world, with people, and even though you're not rewarded for behaving in a certain way, to be a better person, to not be an arsehole, you know, it makes it better all round. You are rewarded. You know, you park blocking somebody's back door, for instance, or have two cars parked across the street blocking the street. You know, oh, it's a free country, I can do what I like, which is the reply, but you know, you get trotted out. But, and that's the other thing as well, I'll go on to that in a minute. Yes, you are within your rights to do that. There are no laws or rules written down stopping you from doing that. But there are unwritten laws and unwritten codes of behaviour. You know, the social contract, good manners, stuff that you sort of teach your kids as children, I suppose, or you're supposed to pick up as children. You know, when I was a child, we had a thing, we did like the cycling proficiency test and we did the countryside code. We didn't take exams in them or anything like that. But you learnt that along with like your 3 R's, and it just makes you a better, more rounded citizen. So, you know, just having a little bit of consideration for your neighbours and for people out there. There's no financial reward. There might be a bit of a moral reward. You might feel a bit altruistic at doing it, but, you know, just try and be better, because I shouldn't have to tell people how to behave out there. People should know. But anyway, but yeah, and the thing is as well, you know, so the whole thing was that contradictory information as well. We've got the pumpkins that are left, and keep glancing over there because we're down there. These pumpkins are left. What do I do with them? Do I throw them out in the garden? Well, it's good for the squirrels. Squirrels love pumpkins, so I throw them out in the garden and the squirrels can eat them. But I can't, because they're bad for hedgehogs. So both are true. Pumpkins are good for squirrels but bad for hedgehogs. So what do you do with your used pumpkin? Well, luckily for us, we've got neighbours, and they're going to put one in the rat's cage and one in the ducks ones, because ducks and rats love them. So that's how we're going to get rid of ours. But yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? They're both, you know, squirrels and hedgehogs, they're both wildlife. They both have a right to exist. But putting out something that will feed one may poison another. You know. Or we put them in our bins and we go into like food recycling or landfill or whatever, and then, you know, at the moment with all this climate change and all the rest of it, you know, there's a reason you shouldn't really be doing that. You should be trying to get rid of stuff on site. Anyway, it's coming up for 10 minutes, so peace out.